Welcome to Deep in the Huddle.
Hey, man, welcome to another episode of Deep in the Huddle with your guys, Nix and Messiah. We are on season 1,
episode 14.
And we about to talk about these playoffs.
Do it to them. Let's do it to them.
Talk about playoffs.
Hey, yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, that wild card weekend was something else, wasn't it?
Wild card indeed.
Very, very much so. Obviously, my voice is very much better now. I am now at
so much
90% in holding here.
Yeah.
Definitely trending all the way up.
Listed as questionable, but probably will go.
Yeah, last week it was a game time decision for your boy, but this flu is on up out of here. Man, lots of heat this weekend. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, we have Colts at Texans.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
The hottest team most would consider. The Colts went in there, walked into NRG Stadium in Houston, and got the job done, 21-7.
Hit them with that rumble dumble.
Yeah, they came out the gate fast.
Yeah,
super fast.
That's how you got to do with Houston, though.
Yeah, dropped 14 on them quick. And then kind of just let Marlon Mack salt that game away with 24 carries for 148 yards. 6.2, ooh, that's a hell of an average. On the Houston side, I think they, to a certain extent, I think they kind of panicked. I mean, even when it was still 14-0, you had to at least, there was so much time left. And as I was watching this game, and I'm like, hey, man, they got to run the ball still. They got to run the ball. I mean, Lamar Miller, 5 carries, 18 yards. I mean, Deshaun, had 8 carries for 76. A lot of that was off of passes and him scrambling and just getting what he could get. It wasn't designed run calls for him. The Colts defense, obviously, with Matt Eberflus in that cover 2 and try to, bend but don't break for the most part, blitzing, timely at times. I think the biggest thing for the Texans in this game, when they did have the ball, they just got away from the run completely, and it hurt them for sure. And their defense, I mean, in the second half, the defense gave Deshaun and them ample opportunities to get back into this.
Yeah, because they shut them out for the second half. They shut the Colts out the second half, man.
Yeah, definitely good adjustments from them. To keep them out of the end zone and off the scoreboard. But the Texans offense just looked completely discombobulated for the most part of this game.
Yeah, when you got Deshaun Watson rushing for the most yards at 76 yards off of 8 carries, I mean, that's supposed to be like Deshaun should be rushing 6 to 8 carries, 50-something yards, 56, 60 yards. And then that should be in addition to what Lamar Miller and Alfred Blue contribute. Not we had 105 yards and Deshaun had 76 of them. Nah.
And of course, I mean, yeah, and the recipe for success for Houston is definitely not having Deshaun throwing the ball 49 times.
No.
Sorry, that's just not it.
Yeah, I say it all the time, man. You start doing them Roethlisberger type, fractions. Like I already know you lost.
Right.
I already know.
I didn't like the defensive game plan from Houston either. Yeah. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see them do some things like maybe stacking stacking Watt, stacking Watt and Clowney
on top of each other.
Kind of dictate to their offense a little bit. And for the most part, they just kind of rolled in there in the same kind of defense that they played them all year long. I mean, the 2 times they played the Colts, they just kind of stuck to the same form, and it just wasn't working. I don't know. It was at times it was painful to watch the Texans. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I know you're down 21-0, but there was so many. It was like, granted, they got a score late 21-7, but I mean, it was times in the second half, I was like, man, the Texans really can get back in this and do something, and they just couldn't get over the hump. Really questionable. I'll be honest with you here. I get it. You won the division after 0-3. we've kind of been here with Bill O'Brien though now for a while. You know, I just. And I know Deshaun really likes Bill O'Brien. He said that he's been out there and he's cut for him last year. He said things about him this year. If not Bill O'Brien, I mean, let's talk about these names on this defense now. You know, the J.J. Watts of the world, the Clowneys of the world. You know, the Matthews. Now, yeah, could they use a cornerback? Sure, obviously they could use a cornerback. I mean, the rookie safety played well. The Kareem Jackson at safety and the numbers he's put up this year, the tackles and the interceptions. I mean, he's played well. But my word, I mean. The Colts just, I mean, like 24 carries, 148 yards. This ain't Gurley. This ain't Zeke. Now, I'm more of a, ain't Saquon.
And I know he's only got 16 games on his resume, but you know he's a man.
He puts in work. He puts in work. I mean, 6.2 yards per carry. Now, of course, I'm more of a Marlon Mack guy than you are out of, with him coming out of USF and everything.
I don't not like Marlon Mack, and now that we've had this conversation, I think offline too. Like Marlon Mack, we both agree they may have found their dude. Like they may not have to go look for one in the draft, or actually, the conversation was around getting Le'Veon Bell with all the amount of money they had.
Correct. You know, but I mean, again, Colts. Take their hat off to them. They've just plugged away, hottest team in the league, and now they get to move on. Texans definitely could use a tight end. I think definitely offensive line help for sure, and need to look for a corner. Definitely some of the highlight things I look at them for going into this offseason. Great season for them. I mean, won the division.
A lot of late season injuries, man, with guys that were like key to stretching that stretching defenses, with Fuller and then of course Demarius went down too.
And in game, of course, Hopkins with the grade was a grade 2 or 3 sprain. Had to have help getting his shoulder pads off after the game. But Kuti definitely stepped up. 11 catches for 110 yards. I mean, Lamar Miller helped in the passing game as well with 8 catches, 63. But yeah, they abandoned the running game way too quick for me. And that hurt them. And
on the defensive side, though, I mean, obviously Darius Leonard, but I'll skip ahead real quick and come back to him. I mean, Pierre Desir trying to make his name as a shutdown corner.
Emerging.
I know that he shut down. I know DeAndre Hopkins was hurt, but he didn't get hurt till kind of like later on. So like I get it. People go, well, he wasn't able to use his length and stretch out, separate from, Desir. Desir was on him. And anybody else that came in his pathway were basically like, it was roadkill. Get out of my way. I'm either going to take the ball from you or I'm going to bat it down. So, I mean, like, he's worth it. And Darius Leonard,
yeah.
That's all I got to say about that is
all pro.
Hey.
All there is to it. I mean, hey, shout out to that GM, right? I mean, the Quentin Nelson pick, we know that's kind of a slam dunk. You knew what you were getting with that kid there.
Yeah.
But I mean, your first 2 picks are both all pros the first year. Whew. I mean, that's how you get a team on the right path quick, and back to this year. I mean, I watched him, wherever the Dallas Cowboys played, went up to Indianapolis and played, and watched what he did even against Amari. Kid's coming at corner. Yeah, that kid is definitely coming at corner, no doubt. Shout out to the Colts and what they got going. Texans regroup, come back next year. But that's gonna be a very interesting division next year, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, something coming in while we're recording.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I know we're going to talk about this later. Is news out now is McCarthy only wants the Jets job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyhow,
I guess he's a believer in Darnold. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, second game on Saturday was the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Arlington to play the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys get the win 24-22.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff was going on in this game as well, from the injured kicker, and them going for 2 a lot there at the end, to the unharmonious attempt of an onside kick that just didn't quite work for the drop kick punter. Game was very nip and tuck for a while. I mean, obviously Zeke, 26 carries, 137 yards. I think now Cowboys are 10-0 if he gets 10-0 if he rushes for 130 yards, I think is what the stat is. Mm-hmm. Dak was efficient, 22 of 33 for 226, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Also, six rushes for 29 yards and 1 touchdown, but he had 2 really big carries in the red zone. Amari Cooper did his thing for the 7 catches, 106 yards. Seahawks stuck to their guns, and the Dallas defense, as we talked on the last cast, and I was like, man, I'm a little worried. Last month they haven't played well. The Dallas defense showed up. These guys like to run the ball, and couldn't get the job done. Mike Davis 4 for 10. Chris Carson 13 carries for 20 yards. Rashad Penny had a little bit of luck with a little better trading, I should say. 4 carries for 29 yards, but most of those came off of 1 carry. Russell Wilson 3 for 14, but we're talking 1.5, 2.5 for the bulk of the carries, average. Lockett had a good game, 4 catches, 120 yards, some amazing catches between him and Baldwin, like right on the sideline and just toe dragging, right?
Oh man, toe drag swag.
Man, crazy. And that was like one of the biggest things, because you got into the second half and the kicker was hurt. They were pseudo in field goal range. It was 4th and 6. They throw the ball, get the first and going about their business. Yeah. Russell, 18 to 27 for 233 and a touchdown. Definitely teams very much mirror images of each other. Cowboys get the touchdown, with about 2 minutes left to get it to 24 to 14. And of course, Seattle, Russell, that head coach, they've been there, done that before, right down the field, get the score, and then back to the drop kick, onside kick that didn't go too well, kind of ended the game for them there. The Cowboys were able to kneel it out. Man, I think the biggest story for me out of this is the Cowboys defense. Wasn't sure, the last 2-3 weeks, we saw the Giants put up 35. We kind of saw Jameson then put some yards on them, it was like, man, maybe that defense had peaked a little early and wasn't going to be ready to get the job done in the playoffs, but they definitely showed up for the first round of the playoffs.
Guys like LVE, rooks, man, they're hitting the wall. You know what I mean? Those guys used to play in 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
And, their season's over in early December, late December. Now you're asking them to play into January, February. Look forward to playing in February. Hey, man, that's 2 more months you didn't tell me about. You know what I mean? These guys is usually off having pizza parties right now. Preparing for midterms, stuff like that. Like, it's just a different thing that you'll have to go through with rookies a lot of the time. So
yeah,
hey, LVA ain't had that stink like he's had, a few weeks back, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, now like I said, man, that defense definitely showed up. Side note for the Cowboys going forward, obviously, terrible injury for Allen Hurns. If you haven't seen it and you have a weak stomach, I will tell you now, do not go dial that up. That is ugly.
Hey, when I saw that injury, I'm going to tell you what it instantly reminded me of when I saw it. Yeah. When y'all wanted Odell to go diving in there on that onside kick.
Oh, man.
Imagine if that had happened, right?
Fortunately, yeah, man, ugly. Fortunately for Allen, it was only a dislocated ankle. Mm-hmm. And then the knee with a break underneath the knee. And they did the surgery, got everything set up, and apparently he's going to be ready to go in August. So that's like beyond good news. I would not have expected that.
He's going to get a steel plate in that knee with that break underneath there.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a good question. Also, but the Cowboys, the hits kind of keep on hitting because Cole Beasley got banged up too with the knee.
I saw that.
And currently he's questionable for this week. Not sure if he's going to be able to play. Tavon Austin also a little nicked up. So going forward, the Cowboys at the wide receiver position going to be a little thin. Had to call Lance Lenore up from the practice squad. He'll be on the 53-man going into L.A. For Seattle, end of the day, a lot of people thought it was going to be kind of a rebuilding year. Yeah. And, man, they started out 0-2, buckled down, got back to what they like to do, running that ball. Seems like they found a little three-headed monster with the guys that they have there, with the, rookie being a part of that, Rashad Penny. Russell's Russell. I look at them, I'm like, man, could really use they could really use a tight end as well, which, this draft is really going to be heavy on tight ends. There's some good tight end prospects in this draft. One of the better tight end drafts coming that we've seen in a while. And they're going to figure out because, now that I don't think they're going to tag Earl Thomas. So definitely going to figure some things out on the back end of that defense. I think the front seven is there, especially with KJ Wright coming back. We know what Wagner brings. We know what that boy Frank Clark.
Well, you know what KJ Wright brings. He just was out. He was hurt.
Right, he was hurt. Yeah, he didn't get back in. I mean, you saw the interception he had, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Got back, like they fooled him. He got back into the play, made the play. Some I want to say was pass interference. I think at the end of the day, man, it's playoff football.
Yeah.
I mean,
KJ Wright. I mean, like, for as much as everybody talk about the Legion of Boom's been disassembled, I mean, like, that's one of the original members.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
I mean, they still got pieces there. Like I said, with Wagner, KJ Wright, and of course, Reed and Clark on that line, that front seven is pretty good. They could probably use a little bit more help on the back end, and maybe we'll see what they do there.
There are gentlemen, young gentlemen, about to pop on out in April. They'll have their pick.
We get the pick of the litter. Mm-hmm. Now let's get over here to Baltimore. Old Felipe. Chargers 23, Ravens 17. Now, you hear that score and you say, man, that must have been a good game. This was an ugly game because the Chargers, and this is what we talked about before, I was like, man, this is a bad draw for the Ravens because the Chargers just played this offense.
Yeah.
And that defensive coordinator went to the head coach, said, hey, we're going to play with 4 safeties.
Dial up this nickel.
Yeah. We're going to take the linebackers out. Now, some of that's by hook and by crook because they're kind of beat up at the linebacker. But we're going to dial up these 4 safeties, and we're going to crash the ends, taking the inside leverage.
Push out them edges. Make sure homeboy can't sneak out.
And we're going to dismantle from there. And boy, did that not go well for the Ravens.
and I knew you probably were going to talk about that. I figured you'd bring that up, but honestly, that worked for them. A lot of people can go, blueprint.
Yeah,
you know how to stop him. You need to have the personnel to do that.
Got to have the personnel.
And everybody in this league don't have the personnel to do that.
Let me tell you, and then on top of that said game plan,
right?
Melvin Ingram was out here looking balling like Leslie O'Neal from back in the day.
Oh my goodness, you brought back Leslie O'Neal with the visor, with the sun-tinted visor.
Man, I mean, he was just I don't care if it was a pass or a run. He was just destroying everything on the side he was lining up. Man,
you get a lick, and you get a lick.
My goodness,
there was one hit he laid on somebody. Boy, I just my head just automatically, when you see things that it automatically triggers a thought someone said or, a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just what do you hit? I forgot who it was, but man, I was like, remember in NCAA college football, when they had Lee Corso doing the announcing in the game at EA Sports, and Lee Corso go, he laid a licking to him. Yeah. That's instantly what I thought of.
Man, and then, like I said, that 3-headed running monster on the other side, man, the Ravens, man, Dixon, 6 carries, 13 yards, 2.2 average. Edwards, 8 carries, 23 yards, 2.9 average. Lamar, 9 carries, 54 yards. Man, they were just shutting it down, making great plays. Now, we know what the Ravens defense is as well, and, they were definitely holding those guys to field goals.
Mm-hmm.
They got the touchdown late. It's 23-3. Mm-hmm. And the one thing you can't do is you cannot go to sleep when it's the playoffs. I don't care how much you're down. That's the Cowboys scored and everyone was happy. And then they went right back down and scored quick. Boy, now imagine they get the onside kick and kick the field goal and you lose.
Hey.
After being up 10. And these boys, hey, they stuck with him, which I agree with because he's a rookie and he's the one that got you there.
Yep.
And Lamar, I mean, we could say, well, they went to a soft whatever, and he still made the throws.
Yep.
And got it back in it quick.
And it was 5.5 minutes left in the game, and it was 23-3.
Yeah, and got 2 quick ones.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and with the chance to go down and tie it or take the lead, I should say. But then that boy Melvin Ingram came in and stripped.
Yeah, what a hell of a play, man.
Yeah, man. I was like, man. But they ran back in it, couldn't get the job done. Bad news for the Chargers. What to see. Melvin Gordon the knee that he just got over, well, that's okay, but he kind of nicked up the other knee.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get some rehab for him to get him ready to go for this week as they continue their road walk up to New England.
Hey, man, let me mention something else too, man. As much as everybody talks about that defense, with the Ingrams and the, oh boy, the safety Derwin James, man, Desmond King and Casey Hayward. This receiving squad they got over here in L.A. for the Chargers, don't mess with them Williams boys. Williams coming. Okay, the other Williams, not Mike from Clemson.
Yeah.
The other one,
Clemson. I talk on Clemson wide receiver. You.
Hey, and don't you do that again. You understand? Don't do that again. We will press pause on this recording, and I will take off my headphones and walk away.
Sammy Watkins?
Don't do it again. Do it again. I swear.
What?
All right. The Williams
Houston?
brothers over there in L.A. don't you drink me.
Okay.
Bless.
Well, that's a different story.
Oh my God. Oh, anyhow. Yeah, that receiving core they got. Don't forget they got Keenan Allen. He's been linked up this season, but they got Keenan Allen over there. Terrell Williams. Melvin Gordon can get right. Hopefully they can get whatever it is with his knee cleaned up over the offseason. And I probably wouldn't play him in the preseason except for maybe one game, or maybe 2 quarters at max. Pick the whatever one of the 3 or 4 games, whatever you play in preseason. And play him then. Don't you do it.
Yeah.
LA. And man, they're going to be trouble if they can get another quarterback to come in there after Phillip and do what Phillip does or better.
Yeah, man.
They're in trouble.
And of course, they kind of one of the unsung heroes in this game because as well as the Ravens defense did play. Yeah. I mean, Desmond King, huge kick return for 72 yards.
Yep.
Had a big punt return as well that set him up 2 times to be in scoring position. Special teams was really big for them.
Yeah, do not sleep. It's coming.
And they activated the tight end for this week, by the way.
Hayden Hurst.
Yeah. Not Hayden Hurst. Starts with Healy.
Who?
Oh, Headley. Where the Chargers guy, the guy that blew the ACL out in preseason.
That's not Hayden or Hurst is on Baltimore.
Hurst is the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rookie.
Oh God, how did I not know this? Oh my God. Oh. Anyhow, so the tight end that was out.
yeah, the Chargers side. He'll be active this week.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
So there's
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry, and so that's another weapon. We'll see how he is or how well he is, but I'm interested to see the Ravens' growth. Obviously heading into the offseason. Again, great season for them. Caught lightning in the bottle with Lamar as the rookie. And if you caught the post-game press conference from Harbaugh, basically all but let everybody know that, not that we didn't know this already, but yeah, I mean, Joey Flacco will be moving on.
Yeah, it was cold-blooded though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
Not sure that's going to be via trade. That might be a release situation with the way the contract's set up.
I mean, I don't know, man.
It'll get cleaned up and see. But, to backdoor that, definitely going to put some things in, open that passing game up for Lamar, obviously, and let him get some good work this offseason. Intrigued to see them maybe go get him another wide receiver, too.
Might need to go call up old George, old QB coach out there on the West Coast.
Although I'll tell you what.
Call up Trent Dilfer. Something.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I think Gus Edwards is cool. Kenneth Dixon's cool. With Lamar, Le'Veon Bell here, I think I like it.
I don't know. They seem to like, didn't they like the old boy they had? What's his name?
Was
it Alex?
Oh, Alex Collins.
Alex Collins.
Yeah.
I thought they liked him,
he's okay, but
I know he ain't Le'Veon. You ain't got to explain that to me.
Yeah,
when I say that, I'm just saying, like, that's the buzz. Like
he was okay last year. He was okay this year, but he's still kind of nicked up, whatever. I mean,
he ain't the top tier of running back.
Right. And I mean, you get a Le'Veon behind that line, and then a Le'Veon for Lamar to make easy completions and can go do work for him. I think it's not. I mean, whether they go that path or not, I don't know. But I mean,
they need another receiver, though. I know that.
Yeah, they need another receiver, but that's what I kind of like Le'Veon there. But on to Chicago.
Yeah, yo.
This game here. Eagles go in to the Windy City and win 16-15. Oh, this game. Lots of layers in this game.
I mean, shoot, the layers should the winner from this game win another.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a topic.
We ain't even talking about the layers. Should the winner of this game make it to the Super Bowl?
So, yeah, tons of layers there. But for this game, though, Nick, don't die. You good? All right.
No, I gotta live because God only knows if I died before Alabama came back and it played next year. Jeez.
Yeah, the stories that would be told.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, but Nick Foles, 25 of 40, 266, 2 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions. That was the one interesting thing that I found this game because, we always talk about turnover, protecting the ball, and for them to turn the ball over 2 times in Chicago, not turn it over like that, and to win the turnover battle and still lose, speaks volumes about how this game kind of went. Obviously, tried to run the ball some. We know it's the Chicago Bears defense. We know what they bring. But Darren Sproles getting 13 carries, 21 yards. Wendell Smallwood, 8 carries, 20 yards. So even though they wasn't running it well, that's 21 carries. They were keeping them honest to allow maybe some of the RPO and some of the play action stuff work for them. Jordan Howard, 10 carries for 35 yards for 3.5. They tried to mix in some other things. Gabriel with some sweep actions, some misdirection for 2 for 20, and that's about it. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky now first half looks like he might have pulled something in the leg. Wasn't quite as mobile the rest of the game, but 3 carries, 9 yards. Allen Robinson had a monster game for 10 catches for 143 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
and still, it was a field goal game until the second half.
I mean 6-3 at the half.
Yeah.
10-6 into heading into the fourth quarter for the Eagles, and then you kind of trade some barbs. Mitchell over 300 yards and a touchdown. Now he was 26 of 43. Mitchell's
that's that Roethlisberger algebra right there.
Yeah, and the thing about it was he would throw like some dimes,
darts,
like
man,
tight windows,
and darts.
As I was saying on the game, I mean, with a strike.
Yeah, the strikes, definitely.
And then easy 7-8 yard throw to his left in the dirt. Like it was weird. Like I don't know if the leg was bothering him more than we really knew, and we probably won't ever hear about that. So maybe sometime this off season, but like some very easy throws to keep the chains moving, he missed, and that came back to haunt him there at the end. Obviously, they lined up with a kick. He kicks it and makes it. They called the timeout. Obviously, lined up to kick it again. I know everybody wanted to give him that work because he's missed 10 kicks this year, but it was tipped.
It was tipped. Yep.
It was tipped.
That don't mean nothing though.
Yeah, I mean.
You seen the video of the one dude walking out of the stadium.
The word
F and mother F and F.
FF and FF.
Wow, bro. Yeah. And I'm like,
my man was mad.
I said it in the threads, when this comes up, like, hey, as much as we want to talk about Mitch, he was doing that Roethlisberger algebra. He got through for 1 TD in the third quarter and 9 of the 15, or was it the fourth quarter? No.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
What's the name? Trubisky. How many TD? He threw 1 TD, right? Was it?
Yeah.
It was the second quarter, wasn't it?
No. Fourth quarter.
Or fourth?
Yeah, fourth quarter. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah. I mean, 6 points out of the 15 that they had, was Mitchell Trubisky. The rest was the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about, well, you had one job, or you talking about, yeah, but you should have made that kick. I mean, okay, but what's the offense doing?
Yeah, man.
And not nothing against Philly's defense by any stretch. We know what they can do. We know what they were doing last year, but they're not the same defense this year.
No, the front seven, especially getting Hicks back and stuff. The front seven is stout. I mean,
Fletcher got Hicks back. That's definite. That's a boost. I'm just saying,
But now
there's guys missing.
Yeah, I mean, and basically kind of in the secondaries where they're missing, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's happened here.
Them dudes stepped up.
They've had about 4 or 5 games now to play together.
Yeah.
To figure it out.
Yeah, and they've gelled.
Yeah, that backside has kind of had a chance to gel. I always like looking at the numbers. And I mean, granted, hey, look, you go up 15-10 with that number one defense, you think you got it locked away. And Foles gets some huge throws there on that last drive where they scored a touchdown on 4th down. And I mean, and there were some times where he was like getting molly-whopped, you hear me, and he was standing in and delivering the ball. But the stat that I looked at, and just how much more crazy that this game really was, because I like to look at some things that are different. The field position game, man, Philly was 4 times they were inside their 20. They were pinned back by the Chicago Bears punter. Let that sink in.
Yep.
4 times, as compared to 1 from Philly pinning them 1 time inside the 10 or inside the 20. So I mean, almost half of their possessions, started inside the 20, and they were still able to get it done. Just a magnificent effort from Philly in general. Yeah. I mean, obviously the Bears losing Trey Burton, to the groin injury that was kind of out of nowhere, definitely didn't help them. Maybe we'd like to see them maybe try to run the ball a little bit more, obviously, but hats off to Philly. Here we go again. Been here, done this. We've kind of seen this before.
Yeah. I mean, look, two quick points before we get into that part. Of note, as much fanfare has been made of Khalil Mack joining the Chicago Bears, that offensive line for Philly, Khalil Mack, 0 sacks in that game.
Yeah, he got some hits, but he didn't get no sacks.
Yeah. 0 sacks. And another stat for you. Eagles have faced Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, and Khalil Mack during their 4-game winning streak. Those 3 players have combined for a total of 0 sacks and 3 QB hits against them.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think Floyd was the only guy to touch him up with a sack, in one. Kept him pretty clean. He took some hits delivering the ball, but as far as negative plays, sacks and stuff of that ilk, definitely did not happen. But I mean, hey, for the Bears, obviously, making that trade to go get a Khalil Mack and turning their season around with Nagy there for the first year. Be interesting to see if Nick Fangio goes anywhere, head coaching wise.
I hope
he's getting some. Yeah, I'd like to see him stay there too, but we know he's getting some looks, some interviews. It's intriguing to see where they're going to go this offseason, because I look at their roster and I'm like, man, I mean, you can always use more offensive linemen, right? Maybe another corner for them, possibly. But I tell you what, man, I think this team is going to be right back in the thick of things next year. I really do. Their defense is legit and young. The pieces that they signed, this offseason at the Barbers, like the Gabriels of the world and stuff, they're set in stone. They're not going. They're all going to be back. I mean, they're going to retain a lot of this team, percentage wise, is going to be back next year, because they basically just signed everybody up this offseason. Trey Burton's another one that tied in. So I mean, obviously they extended Khalil Mack. You got Roquan Smith, who you just drafted. So I mean, the majority of this will be one of the teams that whenever they go line up come August to start playing some preseason games, you're like, oh yeah, they didn't have much turnover at all.
Yeah. Well,
and to get to add some pieces.
The Eagles though.
Yeah.
Conundrums.
Going to see where that's one of them lines, man. Going to see where that train goes.
Hey, something I neglected to mention earlier. Read a little blurb today on them internets, as I cruise by.
Get
ready for it now.
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat.
The Eagles trade Nick Foles to the Raiders for the number 4 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And pick up Quinnen Williams out of Alabama.
Well,
Chucky likes him some QBs, bro.
Yeah, he does. That means he's got to move on from Carr. That'd be.
Hey, man, there's Jacksonville, there's Miami, there's Denver.
I was going to say, though, before we get out of here after this, I mean, there was a kind of a playoff game also that happened on Monday, if we wanted to cover that real quick and throw it in here with these.
Okay, nothing to say about the Foles deal?
I just don't see it. No, I don't see that. Cool. I don't see that. Now,
college football?
I can see,
no, don't.
College? No one do that.
Don't do that.
Oh, no national championship. Okay, just
still raw. Don't do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I can't see them maybe possibly trading Foles and getting something. I just don't. The Raiders, I don't see it. I mean, that'd be nasty though. I mean, you put that kid next to Fletcher Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Also, just in case I didn't mention that, the Eagles' first round pick and Foles to move up to number 4. So
yeah,
I mean, so nobody thought Nick Foles for a first round. I ain't want nobody to listen to that. Yeah. Or, sometimes we think about what we say after we said it and we go, wait,
right.
I was the wrong person. I said the wrong last name or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Just wanted to be clear. Like, Nick Foles, Eagles trading Nick Foles and their 2019 first round pick to move up to number 4 to select Quinnen Williams type of thing.
I mean, that'd be nasty.
It'd be a good move. But, they got Long coming loose, Brandon Graham coming loose this year. They're going to be free agents, so they need another rusher.
I don't know. Well, we have to look in the top. But see, we go quarterbacks. So see that puts us the first one that we've been talking about is y'all at 6, and I don't see y'all doing that.
Nah, what do you mean? Moving up?
No. Like I was thinking in my head, like if the Eagles package their first round pick plus Foles to come up the board, like I was thinking about who's in the top 10 looking to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're saying not Raiders, it would be like y'all. And I'm like, well the Giants ain't going to do that.
No, well, that's the latest word. Schefter's saying that we're going to have to move up to get Dwayne Haskins. But the three teams. Yeah, but here's the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
We are not going to move up to go get Dwayne Haskins. We're not. We have 11 picks. We need to mortgage what to move up to the first? What do you think we got to go give up to come from 6 to move up to the first pick?
I mean, again, as I told you on the phone, but here's what I'm telling you: if your front office decides that they want that kid, and he grades out, and everyone's got him as the number 1 quarterback, you will have to move. You telling me we gonna call UPS, tell them to come over? We got a box. We need to pack up with 11 picks and ship it to Oakland. I mean, you're not going to ship 11. I mean, let's say.
Oh, plus next year's first.
If you got to go from 6 to 1, I mean, at that point, you got to bring up the chart.
Where's that chart at? I got that on my desk somewhere.
You got to bring up the draft chart. Which means you're probably swapping firsts.
Draft value chart. Let's see.
You're probably swapping firsts, giving up a second.
677. So we need 23 more points. So we're gonna have to give up a first,
a second,
and what's number 12? Shoot, that's more than that's almost as much as. No, hold on. Let me go back again. 6, so 32, 38.
It's gonna be like a first, a second, and something.
It's gonna be a first or a second, or a first and 2/3 or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you don't want him. I'm just saying just my point of if they circle him and say that's their guy, you'll have to go up. That's all I'm saying.
So let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think we're going to go ahead and give somebody a first and 2/3 with all the offensive line talent? Well, first off, if I'm looking to let Eli play before we draft our next QB, and I'm looking to let him play and I want to bolster the line, I'm going to get Jonah Williams.
Hey.
Okay? That's the first thing. The next thing I'm going to do is I got 10 more picks.
Yeah.
Let's tighten up the trenches.
Fair enough.
None of them picks include going to get Dwayne Haskins.
And ain't you? And is this not the same drum you've been beating for the past 2 drafts now?
I wouldn't say the past 2 drafts. What I'm saying is if there's moves, if there's moves that you're going to make, right? Like, see, now we're gonna have to step into kind of like future telling and talking about quarterbacks that aren't even out yet, right? Like, so let's real quick, right? So let's go. Dwayne Haskins, does he thrill you more than Jake Fromm or Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa coming out next year? I mean, is he head and shoulders above those 3 guys?
I mean,
remember, Tua was sitting right next to him in the chair at the Heisman Trophy award ceremony.
I probably have him above Fromm.
Okay, you'd have him above Fromm. Okay, so Justin Herbert. We don't know what Shea Patterson gets to develop into this year in Michigan. Okay, like those guys are coming out. You mean to tell me that Dwayne Haskins is head and shoulders above all them dudes?
But see, here's the difference. We get the liberty of kind of down the path and cherry picking. These dudes are doing stuff that they have to do now to win.
Yeah, but we don't have to do that. Because here's the deal. Here's the deal. With you there. And I think I told you this earlier. We can make that mistake if you want to, but hey, if it goes left, we already know if you draft a quarterback in the first round, right? You're not planning on starting him. You're not planning on sitting him for a year. Patrick Mahomes kind of got lucky, or Alex Smith maybe should say, kind of got lucky and got to sit for a year, right? With the Patrick Mahomes sitting right behind him, right? So like, Eli Manning, with his gameplay the last 3 to 5 seasons, he's not going to have that luxury. They were already calling for Kyle Lauletta in week 5.
Yeah, I mean, of course, now Eli did clean it up towards the end of the year for sure.
Hold on, let me finish that statement, and then you can go. Okay. Also, right? So if you're doing that and it doesn't work out, what are you doing in the 2020 draft? If you play that kid and he's trash.
Well, I mean, you know how that goes. I mean, even Ryan Tannehill got 4+ years. So, I mean, he'll get more than just 1 year.
Hey, and Ryan Tannehill is one of the reasons why teams don't do that kind of math no more.
Hey, I hear you.
We ain't going 5 years to figure that out.
But now, I mean, this kid's a better prospect than Ryan Tannehill coming out. Let's be clear.
Fine.
Let's be clear.
Fine.
I mean, he threw 50 touchdowns. I mean, I get. Again, I understand your standpoint and what you're saying. My only standpoint from this is I'm not saying he is or isn't a guy. I've only watched him 2 or 3 times. I know what the stats look like. I know he played this year. I know the system he played in hasn't really turned out a whole litany of all-pro NFL quarterbacks.
Wait, let me hit you with how people try to get me. Name me the last successful Ohio State quarterback.
Troy Smith. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Kurt Herbstreit, no? And he's a great announcer, apparently. Yeah. But anyways, neither here nor there. But that was the same. But, some of that was a knock on Baker. We saw what Baker came into the league and did. Now, until I really turn on the tape and start looking at everything, I don't know where he's going to be at. My only thing is your GM, and if your GM and head coach say, yes, we want him, all I'm saying is they'll have to trade up to get him.
Yeah, but my GM's known for going BPA.
That's true.
So that's true. Quinnen Williams, if he's available, and the word is he's going to Arizona probably, but they just hired Kingsbury. So before that announcement happened, maybe something changed. Especially with Larry Fitzgerald probably going to be gone.
Right. And speaking of Kingsbury, that's a great segue into our next topic. This coaching carousel.
Let's talk about it.
Well, we do have 3 hires. One, obviously, Cliff Kingsbury.
Whoa. Slow it down. Let's talk about the openings first. Let's do that. Then we can get into all that sexy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just going to go through the hires.
No, let's talk about the openers first. So we got open Bengals, Broncos, Browns, Dolphins, Jets. And now today, or within the last 24 hours, Bruce Arians has been hired.
Yes, Tampa Bay.
Matt LaFleur has been hired.
my guy, Green Bay.
And go.
Kingsbury, Arizona. So, and then, of course, also what we just came across and we started recording tonight was that Mike McCarthy is JETS or bust at this point.
Thank you for the reminder.
Must love him some Sam Darnold, I'm guessing. Maybe he loves Sam Darnold more than going to be with Baker.
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, interesting. I'll be interested to see. Or it might be they might offer him full control.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting because I know Arizona threw full control at him, but he decided not to do anything there.
Also, side note though, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Browns organization, as good as they look personnel wise now, roster wise now, they still got a little bit of that stank on them from years past, man.
Yeah, but I mean, they got the right GM in there now.
Maybe so.
The owner is a little finicky though,
a little wonky.
Yeah, a little wonky. Yeah. But the GM kind of keeps it. GM's pretty good and kind of keeps him in line somewhat. So I'm definitely going to be intriguing to see who gets there. I mean, LaFleur, I'm very intrigued to see how this works with him and Aaron Rodgers.
I think he might have gone too early. I know you were high on him. We were both kind of like agreed, like, that dude got some magic in his hat.
Yeah.
But I think I would have liked to see him another year. You know what I mean? Like, and there's other candidates sitting out there that potentially could get hired for some of these other jobs. You know, like Eric Bieniemy. You know what I mean? Well, there's guys out there I think we could do with roasting another year in the oven before they get out.
And I mean, especially me, I was pretty high on him. I was like, man, if we could land him, in Dallas as the offensive coordinator, maybe some of those things. But again, this is a lot of this, the Kingsbury, the LaFleur, man, this is directly the Sean McVay
tree
effect. I mean, that's the tree already. Yep. I mean, LaFleur was the OC for McVay in 17.
Yep.
Titans hired him away.
Yep.
And now Green Bay picks him up here. Obviously, Kingsbury with some of the things that he's done, quarterback wise, is why he's going to get the call here in Arizona. I'm intrigued to see the coordinators for him. That's going to be really big on that hire for me at Kingsbury. Is who he's going to need some very strong coordinators. He needs like a Wade Phillips like McVay has over there.
Yep. That OG to come help him assimilate into the league.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be intrigued to see who gets there. And my bar none, Tampa Bay is killing it. You get Bruce Arians. Okay. And what does he do? Goes bring his old DC in there, Todd Bowles. Hey, Bucks fans, if you want to see what your defense is going to look like, just dial up Arizona whenever they was winning. And
old Todd Bowles is over there with Calais Campbell and DeForest Buckner wasn't coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dial that up.
Dial that up, man. Look at Daryl Washington. Yeah, Daryl Washington and Carlos Dansby and stuff.
Yeah, Dansby. Yep.
Devontae David and Kawhi Alexander are about to absolutely unequivocally love this defense that they're about to play and go to
Andrew Adams. Don't forget about that recently newfound.
Yeah, no doubt. And then the other hiring that I love is the passing coordinator in Byron Leftwich that he brought in there. That's going to be huge in that offense and working with Winston and stuff. The whole, like Bruce he came in, hey, here's my doctor.
Yep. Yeah, came to interview with his MD.
I'm healthy.
We put all the health concerns to rest.
Let you know right now I'm good.
It's got to be that's the first time in history that's ever happened.
Right? And then backdoored with and by the way, here's my staff, and here's how we fix what's going on here.
Yeah.
And we're ready to roll.
Yeah, Bruce won that, bro, because he came in with his family portrait. He said, hey, look, here's my doc. I'm going to show y'all healthy. Now let me introduce you to my family. I got Todd Bowles.
Yep.
I got Byron Leftwich. Yep, this is my cousin from another mother. And and I'm going to tell you right now, I can't wait to see the development and maturation of Jameis Winston, not as just a QB, but as a man with Bruce Arians around him and Byron Leftwich around him and Todd Bowles around him. Because all those dudes in that building they're gonna be like them uncles that that's your brother, your dad or your mom's brothers that come over and ain't going for no nonsense. I had those guys in my life. Jameis about to get them now. And let me tell you straight up, I can't wait to see the growth in Jameis. And if that works out, man, all y'all Bucs fans that was out here talking that nonsense about Jameis and quality coaching, I was telling y'all the difference. Let me hear you talking then. Let me hear when you're popping double-digit wins in the NFC South, and it's a problem for Sean Payton to game plan against the Bucs, and it's a problem for Ron Rivera to game plan against the Bucs. I want to hear y'all talking then.
Hey, and I hate to say this, this might be the hire that ends up getting Ron Rivera fired.
Hey, this, and also your boy in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Atlanta, I mean, they go hire the Bucs former head coach Dirk Cutter as the offensive coordinator.
Right. Lateral.
Interesting to see how that's going to play out for them over there. It's like, well, he didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Tragic. He might be good just as that, though.
Yeah. He's got weapons. He can't. He can't be much worse than Sarkisian last year was with them. Oh man.
Yeah.
So definitely things are changing over there in the NFC South, no doubt. But absolutely love. I think the Bucs crushed it. Shout out to their GM.
Yep.
Not only before even started interviewing coaches, saying, "Hey, Jameis is going to be here."
Yep.
And on top of that, protecting that said pick, I believe the hiring that he did, which you just talked about with the uncles and everything else, is going to be there to get him right. And then the best thing that they did is, because it's the 5th-year option here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is this. Arian signed a 5-year deal. Guess what? If Jameis doesn't come around this year, Bucs fans,
yep,
you gave it the good old college try. You can move on from him, and Bruce Arians can go get him a guy and build it up from there.
To a Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert,
right? So, Bucs definitely can feel pretty. I think this is a home run. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And I don't want to see Justin Herbert go to any other team, but boy, Bruce Arians get a hold of Justin Herbert. Look out!
Yeah.
He liked them kind of QBs.
Mm-hmm. Also, a guy that took him out of the race, Josh McDaniels, says he's not going anywhere. He's not taking any more interviews. He's done there.
Yep.
So
hey, Matt LaFleur, you're on the clock, according to me and BJ. I just want to let you know. We like that you got hired, but you on the clock because if Josh McDaniels is staying because Bill Belichick's going to be leaving, we want him to go to the Packers. Thanks.
Yes, please and thank you.
Yes.
Figure that out quick. So here's some of the names that are out here for these final few spots.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Dennis Allen,
Eric Bieniemy,
defensive coordinator for for the Saints.
Yep.
He is interviewing with Miami. Don't forget about old Darrell Bevell. Former Seahawks offensive coordinator. Now, granted, Jacksonville, he's the offensive coordinator there, but he's got some people in the league that still like him, and obviously his record over time has been pretty good. Airbnb, which we have brought up, looks like the Jets, Dolphins, and Bengals interviewing. I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, I like him to stay in the oven another year, but on the same token, when you get a chance, a la Cliff, hey, look, Cliff had a job at USC. But when you get a chance to go to the dance and someone wants to hire you, man, you got to do what you got to do. And I don't per se like what's left. Obviously, it looks like the Jets might go Mike McCarthy. I don't know. Dolphins, Bengals.
Well,
tough feeling.
Let me just add the Jets have interviewed 8 candidates already, and
that's true.
You still got Todd Monken out there. You still got Adam Gase out there. So there's plenty. There's plenty to be spoken of. Not just Mike McCarthy. There's plenty to be spoken of when you're talking about who's going to fill that vacancy for the Jets.
I will say another guy to keep an eye on, and he was actually talked about some last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of I haven't heard a lot of people talk about him, but I know he's probably out there in the wind a little bit. Dan Campbell, former NFL tight end. He's an assistant head coach and / tight end coach for the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
He's held very high regard He's definitely one of the guys on the remaining list that I would like to see get a job here pretty soon. I think he's got some of the moxie and what it takes. And obviously, when you're underneath Sean Payton for a number of years, you got a pretty good base to start. When it's time for you to go out there. Would definitely like to see some of that. Obviously, Chris Richard's making the rounds with what he's done with the Cowboys. He had a 24-hour turnaround with the Jets and the Dolphins. Definitely like his makeup, his build.
Yeah, I'd like to see him roast for another year, but if there's a guy, man, oh no.
Right.
Like, I could see him with the Jets too. But then again, like, before they hired Bruce, I could have seen him with the Bucks. But, again, maybe he gets the roast for another year. You watch some things because, hey, he's probably one of the few dual threat coaching candidates to come along in a long time. And he does the defense thing. And what? Little passing game for you guys? I mean, he ain't no slouch. No. I mean, when you do those kind of things, you got to have a hell of a football mind, man. And it's just like, at his age, you're just scratching the surface with that cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he ain't got hold of the reins over there in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
He just wanted the horses inside the, in pulling the cart. So
and also, which is funny now with the hiring of LaFleur and Kingsbury and whatnot, we currently have 5 head coaches that are younger than Tom Brady: Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt Nagy, Kingsbury, and LaFleur. Yeah. If Gaze gets rehired, he would also fall in that category. And, of course, Chris Richard, who we're speaking about now, if he gets hired, would be in that category. And I tell you what, I'm going to reverse. I'm going to change my mind on something I said, and this was before in previous episode. Maybe the Browns should keep Greg Williams.
I said
Yeah, I mean,
something to be said when players play for a coach, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, man, this search to me, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's gone the way that they really wanted it to go.
The word that's consistently that I see or hear every day is Kitchens.
Right.
Kitchens.
Yeah, but keep him in house. Look, keep him as the OC.
But if the coach don't want him, though? What if the new coach you hired don't want him, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's my point of saying keep Greg Williams as the head coach. Just keep it status quo. Okay, you know what?
No. I was talking about what if you hire a new coach and they don't want Kitchens?
Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. That's part of my reason of saying just keep Greg Williams as the head coach now. Just keep it status quo. Y'all were winning with what was going on. Everyone seemed to love what was going on. Boom. Let's just keep it. Make Kitchens the de facto instead of it. Take the interim tags off of Greg Williams and Kitchens. And let him be the OC in the HC. I'm starting to really feel that way. The longer this gets drug out, and they've missed on the Bruce Arians, I wasn't really ever super high on the Mike McCarthy hire there, but I got the Green Bay lineage who was there, so maybe that works. But now the way it's starting to kind of turn and formulate, maybe they just need to stick with what they had that was working there at the end of the year. But we'll see.
No.
We'll see. Missed a couple of the guys to note names that are definitely getting some looks. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator of the Bears, definitely getting some looks.
He need to hang out.
Maybe so. I'll see there.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that, especially when you're a new coach and you're trying to get your feet wet, you're trying to work it out, and just you're in over your head. Man, when he was in Frisco, man, that was a debacle. And I just don't know if he's quite ready yet still.
I got you.
You need to hang out for a little bit. Just another year longer.
I got you. Obviously, Mike Munchak, he's interviewed, Steelers offensive line head coach. Chuck Pagano's made the rounds. I don't think Chuck Pagano's going anywhere. I think that's him just trying to get out there, get his name out there, maybe see what happens. An interesting name. I was like, really? But apparently Bengals and Broncos have both interviewed him. Was Zach Taylor, the former quarterback in the league, but the Rams QB coach. I'm like, okay, Sean McVay effect or whatever, that's fine. But we're out here interviewing their QB coach for a head coaching job out here. I don't know. Eek. Just, I mean, do what you got to do. Be interested to see. Now, the Mike McCarthy to the Jets, we kind of broke early on here when we were on. I'm intrigued to see if that comes with full control. I'm definitely intrigued to see that from him.
Yeah. Man, when you, at least with coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least you got a good resume, and you have a good network of people that you can reach out and touch. Remember the old telephone commercials?
Oh, yeah.
Reach out and touch somebody
Mm-hmm.
and find somebody. And it ain't always somebody with a big old title in front of their name sitting in the front office next to the owner that's going to be able to tell you that. You got secretaries, or personal assistants, assistants working in other departments. You got former, NFL employees. You can always reach out and find out about people, man, and know what you're hiring. This ain't like college where stuff can get covered up or put to the side or people never speak of certain things, and then you find out, come draft day. And then
Right.
you watch somebody's draft stock drop. Like, this is not like that in this league. I just think NFL teams need to use all resources available at all times. And if you're going to hire somebody to replace a coach, a head coach for your organization, look to the past and go, okay, we don't want to make this mistake again.
Yeah.
And look at your candidates and go, okay, well, this guy has the potential to repeat the mistakes that we've had in the past. No, we're not going to do that. And, this guy looks like, I'd be willing to give him a shot because he's got some interesting schemes or ideas that can help the growth of X or Y personnel that we drafted and help this organization move along, get some more W's because that's what it's all about. Put some more fans in the stands. We can get some more pieces around him and help grow this team. Not anything I'm not telling anybody or you that you don't know. Just saying, like, man, if you don't want to keep doing what Cleveland was doing before now, they become one of the hot jobs in the NFL. You know what I mean? If you don't want to keep doing those things, or the Jets, if you don't want to keep doing those things, man, you're going to have to go ahead and you're going to have to put it all out there. Don't sit up in your little ivory tower and just go, bat one and pick a coach. Like, that's not going to work.
Right.
No,
I get it. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of, and before we get on to previewing these divisional round games, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You think Green Bay talked to A-Rod before they hired LaFleur?
I'll answer that question by saying this.
You think that CEO talked to the GM as well before they hired him? Say he's gonna go get this guy now.
Who?
The CEO.
Oh.
I just wonder.
I'm going to answer by saying this. It don't matter who they went and got. Unless they went out and hired, Rex Ryan or Colin Kaepernick to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. It don't matter. At this stage of the game, with the past few seasons, even with them taking the risk they've taken with Aaron Rodgers' health, it's all on him now.
Yeah.
The narrative says it's all going to play out with him. And
Right.
whether, I don't care how many games he has, or he goes 23 or 30, for 300 yards and 3 TDs. I don't care. No one else cares. And it's not that I don't care because I don't care. You know how much I love A-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to sway the general public that it ain't his fault if things keep going left. Bad coaching hire, it's all Aaron's fault. Look what happened to Mike McCarthy. Meanwhile, just 3-4 weeks ago, 6-8 weeks ago, we were saying we need to fire Mike McCarthy, and we're glad he's gone after you did.
Mm-hmm.
That talking out of both sides of your mouth. Remember I was talking about that? Like, that's what's going to happen, bro. So, like, it don't matter. Like, hey, let's take another example real quick. Hey, y'all go ahead and fire Jason Garrett, right? And let's just say, for poops and giggles, you make Chris Richard your head coach. Now, I don't think that this would happen. I think that you would flourish under Richard, right? But we're just saying hypothetically here.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, things go left in Dallas. You know what everybody's going to say? Well, at least Garrett could have clapped us to a win. Now we're 6-10. We should have kept Garrett. See how that works?
Well, I hear you. I just simply want to know through our conversations.
Hey, man, it's all on A-Rod.
Do you think they talked to A-Rod about this hire?
It's all on A-Rod. That's just what it is. They ain't talked to him about nothing.
Also, speaking of Garrett, and I've devoutly done this since we were 3-5. And anybody out there that hears this, if you can find tape since we lost to Tennessee, I dare you. You can't find tape of him clapping, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. He's under pressure.
Like he like after 3-5, he is quit clapping. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
I don't even
what
think
it
he
is.
was clapping in the last game when y'all played.
No,
Hawks.
dude. Whenever we were 3-5, he clapped in the Tennessee game. Since then, he has not clapped one single dadgum game. No, crazy. No, but I'll be intrigued. I'll be intrigued to hear A-Rod's thoughts on this hire, just to see.
It's amazing how they hired him and you ain't heard nothing.
I know. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah. I know that's why you asked the question. That's why I said it.
I'm like, wonder if they talked to him.
Let me tell you something about you, boy. You dirty.
Nah, I'm just wondering. Hey, I'm just wondering. Sometimes you want someone to cook the dinner. They want to pick the groceries.
Let's go. Playoff matchups. I'm ready to talk about that.
Round. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday kicks off with Colts Chiefs. Ooh, them two QBs. Might be seeing a lot of these two guys going head-to-head in the playoffs over the next 5 or so years.
Maybe so.
Obviously, we know what the Colts are bringing to the table and how they've been playing, and they're rolling. You know, now they're not going to be in a dome, though, this time. Now, that's one little thing they did get this week, or excuse me, this previous week. Colts are a dome team. They got to go to Houston. Well, Houston's a dome team. However, Kansas City doesn't care about your dome, sir, at all. Because there ain't no dome there, baby.
KC gives 0 Fs about
your dome.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So you better pack an extra jacket, Captain Luck. I'm ready to see that tweet. Now,
wonder if he's going to call Mahomes by his name, or is it going to be, General Ketchup, or is it going to be, Kermit the Frog? I don't know.
I'm ready for it. Now, one good note for Kansas City is Sammy Watkins has returned from injury, so he should be good to go for this game, bolstering the wide receiver core for them. T.Y. Hilton.
I'm sorry.
What?
Sammy Watkins. Sorry.
I know he hasn't. Captain Invisible for most of this year, man. Lot of money. A lot of money they paid him. But hey, maybe shut up now.
Maybe Kirk Cousins got a lesson from him, huh? How to rob. Doing his best 50 Cent.
I mean, at least Kirk was on the field.
Yeah.
Still,
though, the crime's the same. Didn't matter how they did it.
Man, watch out. Kirk Cousins had the same stats that Tom Brady had. Come on now. Watch out. That's the goat.
Hey,
talking about the goat over there.
Hey, when's Kirk Cousins play this weekend?
Well, I mean, end of the day, we can
back to that Colts Chiefs game.
For a lot of teams, about 24 different teams.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man. But back to this, Chiefs. For me, in my bottom dollar, don't do what Houston did. Make sure y'all keep running that rock, man.
Yeah,
definitely got to keep running the rock at them guys. I'm super hyped to see what Mahomes has in store for his first playoff game.
Almost 5,100 yards, bro. 50 TDs.
Yeah,
that's
MVP,
frightening.
MVP, sir. Yeah, don't care what nobody said. That's MVP.
Who did that a while back? I mean, they wound up losing to the Giants, but who did that a long time ago?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that boy Brady. Seen. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now, Chiefs on the other side of that, we just saw what Indianapolis did with that run game in Houston. And if it's going to be super cold, hey, Chiefs got to pack their lunch and make sure that Marlon Mack isn't the difference in this game, and he could very well be.
Reggie Ragland.
Yeah, and Mr.
Hitchens getting back to health. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, Hitchens bringing D Ford. Houston got to come on with it because the Colts. I'll tell you now, Colts aren't going to go in there scared.
No, the Colts ain't scared of nothing.
Nah, they're a team that absolutely is bought in and believes.
Yep,
so absolutely.
You can see it in their eyes, man. They know they're building something.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. Chiefs know too, though. Chiefs know they got something too.
Yeah.
They have bought into Mr. 5,097 yards, not quite 5,100, 50 TDs.
Yeah.
The magician. I'm gonna start calling him the magician, maybe.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I just a great way to kick off the divisional round, man. This matchup here.
And it's sad, right? Because when you don't want football to end, it's going to end for one of these teams.
One of these guys got to go.
Yeah, man. Wouldn't even be shocked if this game went OT.
Hey, man. Hey, look. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out the playoffs.
Champagne or worms, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. I got Chiefs, man. This guy Mahomes and what he's done, I just don't think it ends here. Obviously, that's also coincidentally my Super Bowl pick, but as good as looking at them played and everything, I think the magical carpet ride stops here for them. The pressure. Could be an OT situation. I hear you there too.
Yeah. I mean, I go with the Chiefs, but and maybe my antennas, my receptors might be a little bit off after last night, but pretty sure that I said that early on when you asked me about the game last night, the playoff game you wanted to talk about. Pretty sure my first thought was something feels a little eerie, a little off.
Yeah. I will say this about this game because you mentioned that you wouldn't be surprised if it goes to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
If this game comes down to a field goal, advantage Colts.
Ooh. Yeah, I know the guy over there. He's won a couple Super Bowls.
Hey, I know a guy. There goes a guy named Adam Vinatieri. Yeah, and
he's missed some lately, but
he has. But rain, sleet, or snow, and we've seen him do it in all.
Hey, if there was ever when they used to talk about Martin Grammatica, Automatica Grammatica, hey, there was Adam Vinatieri before that, bro.
No doubt, and Chiefs definitely don't want to let that to be close because he will end it.
What was the
no
line?
doubt?
What's the line? KC 5.5 minus 5.5.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw.
It's a little light. They give the Colts that boost.
Yeah, they ain't giving the Cowboys. Speaking of the next game, they ain't giving the Cowboys no boost. I think this last time I know it opened at 10.
7.
It opened at 10. Is it 7 now?
Yeah.
Cowboys go to Rams. It was 10. Now it is 7. Thing here for the Rams is, I'm telling you now, if this crowd if it's 75% Cowboy fans, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, not at all.
They train out in Oxnard.
Yeah,
there's a huge following and contingent of Cowboys fans out there. This might actually feel like a Cowboys home game.
But they're everywhere. I mean,
that's true.
Whatever my disdain for the team is, I mean, they're everywhere, man. Like you don't want the worst thing you could do as a team when you're trying to get or can happen to you probably as a team when you're trying to get comfortable, short of injury, is being in your own home dome and you not feeling like you're at home because the opposing team's visiting crowd came with them. Like,
no,
you don't want none of that.
I think the key to the game is it
like
really boils down to
right?
this.
Remember?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, not only that. I mean, the Rams they give up 6.2 yards per carry defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Cowboys. This is a bad matchup for them then because the Cowboys are going to run the ball. It's pretty much the same game plan they just had against Seattle. If Dallas is effective with that and they're able to control Donald on said passing downs, I think the Cowboys can win this game.
I think they might try to stack. Yeah, go
They're
ahead.
going to have to. Yeah, I was going to say, wait, if the Rams are able to
I think they're going to
neutralize,
Yeah.
if they can neutralize Zeke,
Mm-hmm.
then I think the Rams get the game. I think that's just what it boils down to.
It's going to be tough for them to neutralize Zeke, though, because you put Sue in the middle, right? That's all day.
Yeah.
But Zeke don't have to go up the middle on you.
No.
And Sue ain't the Sue of old where he could come bust around or twist around, on, tackles and, catch up to Zeke. Not Zeke. And Zeke's one of them guys like Zeke and Saquon and, the dude that just got axed from Kansas City, guys like them, like, even Marlon Mack a little bit. Like, them dudes take 2 steps and they out.
Right. You
know what I mean? Sue can't handle that, and Aaron Donald ain't gonna be able to handle that to try to come off them blocks because he's a double team demand.
Right.
So yeah, like,
and of course, I mean, when running the ball, you want to kind of run at Donald a little bit more than you do want to do Sue.
Yeah.
Keep him active, bounce off of that, read the block, and go.
But they're gonna have to stack, bro. They're gonna have to take move Sue out to the end and try to stack. So that
I agree.
If you decide to go that way, that's cool. We're gonna blow up your line over here.
Right.
If you try to throw the ball, we're gonna blow up your line over here. But Wade Phillips, that's the only thing that kind of has me. There's the X factor. There's the X factor. It's Wade Phillips, and I was thinking about this earlier in the week, but it just talking now, it just reminded me. Hey, guy, play calling tendencies of the Cowboys, knowing the personnel of the Cowboys, knowing the coaching tendencies, the head coach. Buddy, y'all can't make 2 missteps in that game. You can't let them score off a turnover, a field goal, and can't let them score off a turnover or a touchdown because it's over. That team right there, front runners.
Yeah, and the only thing with Wade is sometimes he'll be very stubborn and not adjust.
Yeah.
And if the Cowboys find something and they can take advantage of it in the run game, just keep doing it because he'll stay in a lot of standard packages sometimes and whatnot. So it's definitely intriguing with him and Garrett and all that defense. And of course, Gurley got the time to rest with C.J. Anderson coming in there. Now Gurley's going to be back, so there's that weapon back for them. Yep. As we've talked about before, and I told you, I said I get that it was talking about Cooper Kupp. To me, the Rams offense stopped clicking whenever Gurley went down, and now here's Gurley back. I expect the Rams offense to be back on point to where they were at before. We know what the Rams offensive line has been. Again, I've said it. Going through this, when it comes to the Cowboys, they got to keep that same energy. That's what the young folks say these days, right? Mm-hmm. Keep that same energy, Hot Boys and everybody in the LVE and Jalen, same energy. The Saints, the Seattle game, you got to bring that same energy here to LA to get this job done.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but y'all going to have to come in and bully that O-line.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come in and bully them receivers. Like, the way that y'all, like, and I didn't agree with it, but the way that y'all kind of had dudes locked up, and I don't mean locked up like we bumped you at the line, we stayed with you. There was a lot of plays in that Saints game where I seen guys in coverage holding dudes' arms for the Saints. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about calls that should have been made and all that, but like that's. But now,
look, I'm going to show you something, though.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Before you go, because I already know you already got something to go, okay? All I'm saying is you're going to have to play that kind of ball with the receivers that they got on the Rams because them dudes get loose.
Oh, yeah. Cooks will get loose on you.
Right.
No, so I was saying, but that's the Legion of Boom that Chris Richard brought with him is what I was going to say, is because if you go back to whenever it was the Legion of Boom and Richard was up there with them, and it was Sherman and all them boys together.
Tactics.
That's what they did.
Yeah,
and they said basically you won't call it all the time. You might get me here once, you might get me twice, but we're consistently going to lean on your receivers and do that and force you to make a call.
The only thing that y'all don't do that the Legion of Boom does that y'all ain't really incorporated yet, I haven't seen, is the old Chicago Bears, that strip. You know, the Carolina Panthers, that strip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we get the reaches in there. It doesn't come as much, obviously.
No,
and then, of course, the other key to that, too, is we don't have the safety yet to really play just that single high when we really want to get more bodies to that ball to get it out. And that's going to come. You know, that's definitely a step that needs to happen.
To me, though, like in this game, like, man, I don't even know. Like, Peters is so good in coverage, even though at times in the last 6 weeks or whatever he's been called out as being a liability, but he's hurt. He's not going to tell you he's hurt. I mean, but he's hurt. That's number one. I mean, number two, still trying to make friends. You know, just got there, you know, still trying to make friends, still trying to gel. I mean, Akeem being back kind of makes him feel a little bit comfortable, but I think maybe you can deploy Akeem to lead every once in a while. You know, with the coverage that they got in the back end, you can stick Akeem to lead and let him go deep back there, and then maybe blitz LaMarcus. You know what I mean? Or maybe blitz, you know, Marcus Peters every once in a while. Like, those are the kind of things they're going to have to do to try to, like, get up in y'all to try to win this game. Because if they don't, y'all, again, some good front runners, especially with that TOP, y'all's time of possession, deadly. The way y'all play that, deadly.
And then, of course, you know, the game within the game with speaking with Peters, I mean, him and Amari know each other pretty well. Former divisional rivals. So there's a little bit of the cat and mouse game that's going to happen between them two whenever they're lined up against each other. Intriguing game, man.
Yeah, I think Peters, though, you know what, though? Like, just a quick note. Like, Peters is like, you know how Chris Carter likes to say, you know, like back in the day, you know, when they used to play cat coverage. You got that cat? I got that. Marcus Peters is that kind of dude. Like, nah, I got him. You see Amari out there? Hey, bro, homeboy roam anywhere past the inside the hatches. I got him. Done.
Definitely a matchup to pay attention to. The old game, the more checkers, the chess moves.
They better not straight up and not even nothing against my guy, right, Cooper. Old Linehan better not don't go dialing up no slants. Kelsey ain't nowhere and don't got nowhere near the speed as Amari Cooper, and Marcus Peters was on that. You hear me? I'm telling you straight up. You go ahead and dial up slants, Linehan. Go right ahead and do that with Amari. Watch what happens.
We might actually see a little wrinkle. Maybe they'll actually run a double move, maybe a sluggo.
Hey, the double move, it's a potential he can beat people, right?
Yeah.
Don't run a slant. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, it's Linehan. Slants are coming.
Asking for trouble. That's all I'm saying.
No doubt.
Asking for trouble.
Now into the Sunday lineup of games in noon, or 1 if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Chargers and Patriots. I wonder how much of the special juice maybe Tom Brady got. He definitely needed the week off. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I'll be intrigued to see what game plan the hoodie comes up with to get everything rolling for them. It's hard to pick against the Patriots,
bro.
It's hard to pick against the Patriots.
Straight up, right? Straight up.
But if Philip is ever going to finally beat Tom Brady, this feels like this has to be it.
Straight up. I'm not picking against Philip Rivers with the way that the roster's currently constructed for New England Patriots right now, and their tendencies how they played the last few games. I'm not buying into that. And hey, we got dudes over there in the secondary for the Chargers. Tom Brady don't want no part of that. He don't want none of them lame ducks. He definitely doesn't want to see any ghosts.
Oh, Derwin James.
He don't want to feel no footsteps, no imaginary footsteps, and he definitely doesn't want to faint while he's throwing, because if he does any of those things, they will make him pay.
Yeah, this game for me, I'm right there with you. This game for me basically boils down to Ingram and Bosa.
Bro.
That's where I'm at. If Ingram and Bosa are getting off and getting home, I think the Chargers are going to win this game.
Bro.
If the Patriots can block them up or they've schemed how to neutralize them, then I think the Patriots will win this game. But I think that's the key matchup right there is the pressure the Chargers are able to bring, and if the Patriots can neutralize it or not.
And, once in a while, teams will match up against a defense that is stout. And, I have to break out the candle for the prayer session.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, you've been fainting as of late. Make sure you faint before they blitz Derwin James or Melvin Ingram III.
Man.
Because if Melvin Ingram III hits you, you're going to wake up at home with Giselle. Just want to tell you that. And that's not even me trying to be funny. If he hits you, you're gonna be looking up at the lights. You're gonna have snot bubbles, and Giselle will probably be the next thing you see when you come to.
Yeah, I mean, there's no ifs and buts. If Melvin Ingram has a game this week like he did against the Ravens last week.
What Leslie O'Neal used to do to people when you brought it up earlier. What Leslie O'Neal used to do to people.
Man.
Leslie O'Neal hit people so hard their name on their jersey came off the back.
Well, that boy Leslie O'Neal was a beast, and Melvin Ingram was on it last week. I'm telling you, man, Patriots, you got to figure a way out. If they, again, that's what it comes to me. That's just what it is. If they can neutralize Bosa and Ingram, they'll win the game. That's what it boils down to. We'll see if they can do. Hey, everybody's got a plan until you get hit, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And now, old Nick Foles travels down to the NO. Some layers here.
Sheesh.
Some layers here. Eagles at Saints to wrap up the week of divisional round of games.
Sheesh.
Now, the Eagles went to New Orleans earlier this year. It's story time with Knicks.
Do it.
Eagles went and traveled with the quarterback by the name of Carson Wentz to New Orleans. And they were beaten soundly. And not only were they beaten soundly, the game was in hand. And the Saints, even on 4th and longs, just kept throwing the ball anyways in the end zone and scoring more touchdowns and ran the score up to the tune of 48-7. And then a little side note, as the Eagles were trying to get into the playoffs and they had the ski mask instead of the underdog thing this year, and they were trying to, steal them a playoff spot. A couple of the guys, Ingram and Kamara and Michael Thomas, so they were the real ski mask boys and were posting their pics. They've been wearing their ski masks all year and whatnot. So there's a lot of layers to this game. But it's not going to be Wentz at quarterback this time. It's going to be Nick Foles. If Nick Foles goes back to the scene of that crime and wins this game, Lord Jesus, I don't know what's going to happen in Philly. I don't know. I just don't know.
Hey, you know there's players already in that locker room that have they have shrines to Nick Foles inside their lockers. You know that, right?
Saint Nick.
No, I'm dead ass. There are a couple players I think in the locker room that have shrines to Nick Foles inside their locker.
Hey, man, belief is a powerful thing.
Yeah, Chris Long is one of them. Fletcher Cox is another.
Of course, it's Fletcher and Chris. I can see it.
Yeah, and and it's so cold blooded, right? Like this shrine, they got a candle in there. They got another candle in there with Saint Nick on it. They got a pic of Foles with his finger in the air, praising God. Believe it. They even got other candles in there and other patron saints. They even got a picture of Foles when he was wearing his Rams uniform, about to throw a pass. The old blue and gold Rams uniform. I'm like, word? Like, this is how we doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Hey. I know the conundrum that creates. I know. Man.
Hey, look, I don't even here's the thing, man. Huddlers, we could talk X's and O's about this game. We could talk about the running game. We could talk about the passing and it's, what the Saints have done this season. And we can talk about, Drew Brees and everything else and what that comes and Sean Payton and what he's going to have dialed up and everything else and how the Eagles and what they can go about doing. And we can do all that.
It's about Joe Boo. I just want to let you know.
Yeah,
remember Joe Boo from Major League?
Yeah. Right. You know what, though? I'm throwing it all out the window.
Yeah, you're damn sure right.
I'm just throwing it out the window. There's heat here from the 48-7 and the some pseudo disrespect. Then we got the little back and forth jibs with the ski mask or whatever. Now here it's Nick Foles, and I'm just not going to bet against Nick Foles anymore.
And
that's where I'm at.
And to add, don't think that the crazy old troll, the old grumpy old troll back there, the defense coordinator Jim Schwartz. Don't think he didn't dial up that Dallas and that Tampa Bay tape.
Man,
don't think. And I ain't talking about the first tape. I'm talking about the one where you had the back-to-back looking in the sky like, why am I here, Lord? Drew Brees. I'm talking about that tape. So he's going to try to get you to create as many as them memes as possible come Sunday. Don't think they didn't dial up the tape on you. And to be fair, not all the personnel. I mean, man, I might even be say I might even go. You might be equal here. They got pretty much the same personnel in the front seven to do what the Cowboys did to you. I mean, there's a couple dudes in there definitely that's long in the tooth, a la Chris Long. And,
going to get
Michael Bennett,
physical.
But I'm going to tell you straight up, we know Michael Bennett demands a double team. So, look at here. If your line feeling kind of weak, Andrews Pete over there feeling kind of weak, you know what I mean? Like, hey, don't play that game with the Eagles, bro. And talk about front runner and embarrassing. Hey, look, we know how petty Sean Payton likes to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
the pettiest of them all.
I think low key petty is Doug Peterson. He low key petty. Mm-hmm. Don't think he forgot about that 48-7. Don't think his coach is gonna let him forget about that 48-7. And don't think the leaders in that locker room is gonna let him forget about that score when y'all whooped them. Don't think for a minute. And this is for the marbles. This ain't the Super Bowl, but they know. It's they either gonna drink some drink after this, or they're gonna go home and start packing their fishing lures, worms, and go fishing. So champagne or worms, this is what it's coming down to.
Yeah, man. I know that dome's going to be lit early, super lit early. Eagles got to do something to kind of get them out of it as quickly as they can.
And
that's the one thing.
That offensive line over there, bro. I mean, not saying any of the guys over on that line, that defensive line for the Saints is any scrubs. You got Cameron over there. You got Sheldon.
Rankins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, them dudes over there, they're getting up. Yeah, Davenport. Look. Mm-hmm. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and we know the Chicago Bears, that ain't a game over there on any day of the week. Sunday, Monday, Thursday night football, scrimmage in the park, don't matter. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and say you're not going to be able to block all those dudes in New Orleans. And, the Ohio State gang in the back. Never know when they could deploy a blitz on you. Never know. Eli Apple been pretty much been 70%, 75, 80% doing his job since he left New York. Mm-hmm. And, don't forget about Marcus Lattimore. He's not to be slept on.
Right.
So,
I was trying to figure this out. I was looking it up, and I couldn't find anything on it. When, if ever, has both six seeds won in the same playoffs?
I don't know. I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't think it's ever happened. I couldn't find it. I was looking high and low because like the way the seeding works now, beginning like 1990. And I was going back and looking and finding, I found a 6-seed one. Like, there's been 2 6-seeds win a Super Bowl. That was the Packers and that was the Steelers. But I just couldn't find where 2 6-seeds won in the wild card round. I've seen one, but not 2. And not only are both of these guys, on to Kansas City, on to New Orleans. They're in the thick of this, man. I mean, it's not like they can't win. It's crazy. It's crazy. But back to the Eagles Saints though. As we wrap that up. Like I said, I'm throwing all the X's and O's out. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it on and see what happens, man. I can't say nothing, man, until Foles loses.
I don't know, man. This might be a bloodbath, man.
It might be. It could get ugly. It's going to be chippy. Out of the 4 matchups, to me, this was going to be the chippiest. I really think it is, and just because of what's happened and what's went on.
Yeah,
That part.
Some interesting football this weekend.
No doubt.
Yeah, man.
What else you got? You got anything? You sleep good last night?
Don't be a comedian. That's bad.
Just-
it's bad for
just
business.
asking.
It's bad
Just
for
asking.
business, bro. Let's stop right here. Done. Don't be a comedian. Don't do that. Not to me. So, I mean, because hey, you can be petty. I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Uh-huh.
I'm the prime minister of petty when I want to be, and it'll be no go. Like it's no fly zone. Like don't call me, don't message me, don't text me. And if I ever see you post anything kind of funky, I'm pulling out my stripes, put on my medals, and I'm gonna go prime minister of petty on you, straight up. Anyhow, I think what you're trying to allude to is, hey, hats off to Clemson last night. They whooped us pretty good. Definitely some mistakes we could have avoided to maybe keep that game closer and maybe probably pull out a win. But it hurt last night for a little bit. And then there's things, where you can't become spoiled being an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, because plenty of people have hurled insults, jokes, and nonstop about the result of that game last night. And, I only have a couple things really to say about it. Again, we made plenty of mistakes. There were some moments where we got out-coached, and I'll say these 2 things. One, don't worry about Alabama and what it's doing, okay? Tell me what your college team has been doing, unless you're a Clemson fan or a Georgia fan, for the last 10 years, and I'll tell you what my team's been doing. In addition to that, what I'll say is for all the haters of all the teams, and I'll let you know, they don't call me Prime Minister of Petty for nothing. Don't think that I missed all them comments last night in the group. I wasn't even screenshotting none of them. Don't think that I missed the names and the teams you rep, because your moment will come. Trust me, I've seen all your records for the last 10 years. And I'll say this. Maybe instead of worrying about what Alabama's doing, or Clemson, or Georgia, or them making college football boring, maybe you need to worry about why out of the other 125 or 26 teams that there are out there in college football, why you're not being talked about the same way. And I'll end it that way.
And this time next year, we'll tune in and we'll see Alabama and probably Clemson again.
Maybe Georgia.
Georgia's got to figure out how to not shoot themselves against the foot against. It's mental to me, man. I mean, they had a good. Hurts came in, obviously did what he did against him in the second half and got the job done. But they had Bama dead to rights and couldn't finish the job. They're putting great teams together, no doubt. But just can't seem to quite get over the Alabama hump for them.
It's terrible.
I will say this, as far as and we were communicating during the game last night, and I really just thought if Bama would have rolled with Hurts in the second half, they could have got back into it. I'm not saying maybe they don't win the game, But I really thought they could get back into it because they were gashing them with the run.
That's
I'm like,
what I
man,
was
put
saying.
Hurts in and just keep rolling with that run.
That's
And
what
then
I was saying in the thread.
them
Like,
draw
they
and
couldn't
hit it.
stop it. Like, dude, you want to run inside? Sure.
Man,
we'll run. We got it. You want to run outside? Sure. We
Go
got
for
it.
it, yeah.
Hey, look, you want to dial up Wildcat? Doesn't matter what the key is.
Yeah.
We still
Jacobs
got
in the Wildcat on fourth and everything.
3,
yeah.
4th downs, we dialed up like the Wildcat, or we ran in. We
Straight up the gut.
First
Man.
down. They couldn't stop it. Like, why did you stop?
Yeah, I just didn't understand that.
And
that
it's
was
it's the funniest thing, right? You know why they didn't stop, right? Because all year long you was Dan Marino and the Marx Brothers.
Right.
You was Tom Brady and Randy Moss and Wes Welker. That's what y'all thought y'all was. Hey, to a degree you were, but this defense wasn't having it, and I shouldn't say that. Not that this defense wasn't having it. The front four to front seven wasn't really having it, because kind of like how, and I told you this earlier, kind of like how Dallas was putting the screws to Drew Brees and his quarterback height. It's the same thing with Tua. When you start putting all them bushes and them branches and them trees all in their face, all the arms and the shoulder pads and the helmets all in their vision, when they could see them creases to throw to them receivers, they can't see that. They start seeing ghosts. They start seeing things that they shouldn't be there. Like the bad overthrow on Judy on the one interception. Like, dude, he expects Judy to roll timing-wise. He expects Judy to be out there. No, brother, you couldn't see that. You know why? Because the front four was all up in your grill.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't,
no doubt.
you can't do those things. And if that wasn't working for you, hey, there's 3 running backs on your squad, not counting Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa, that can run the ball effectively. Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris, Najee Harris, you couldn't have rolled none of them dudes out. Oh, did you forget how many 4th downs they converted for you?
Right.
And I can't go without saying this, right? Was it Big 12 referees? We couldn't remember. Big 12 or Big 10?
I think it was Big 12.
I mean, look,
or Big 10, either or.
Somebody got some hate in their heart, okay? And I'm not the guy to talk about refs, okay? But realistically, sit back, take a breath, and I want you to think now that Alabama and Clemson played for all the marbles last night, and there was only 1 penalty called on Clemson for the whole game. The whole entire game. Clemson rang up 1 penalty. Kind of odd. Don't you think?
Yeah, and they called Bama for 7, right?
6.
6.
For 60 yards.
A little disparity there for sure.
Hey, man, look.
For sure.
But I said it last night, right? First thing I said, okay, because we know this about me. I don't pull no punches when it comes to my teams. I will tell you if you're dog doo-doo or you're not. I will tell you if you belong on my team's roster or not. Okay? So, first thing I said when you asked me about the game, what'd I say? Hey, feel a little eerie tonight. Something's a little off. Can't quite put my finger on it. That's what I said. Am I incorrect?
No, that's what you said.
Next thing I said was, hey, Alabama's defense can get off. Hopefully the O-line for Clemson can hold them off. They did for the most part. Okay? Hold them off is the key word. Phrase. Okay? And also, don't forget that there's 3 D linemen along the line there for Clemson, not even counting Dexter Lawrence, who was out.
Right.
That are probably 1st or 2nd round draft picks. That Bama needs to be able to make sure that they don't let them get past to create any trouble. And that happened. Okay? Next thing I said was we need to run the ball more often because, hey, passing's not working. Not at this stage of the game. Use the run to open up the pass. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, B.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not telling anybody that's listening out there anything they don't know. But we didn't do that. We didn't adjust. We got out coached in a couple of different situations. The fake field goal.
Fake field goal.
I'm not even going to talk about that.
Jesus.
I'm going to tell you this much. Jason Garrett wouldn't have done that.
Right. Not that way.
Jason Garrett wouldn't have done that. Understand me? So, again, hats off to Clemson. I'm not a disrespectful person. I love my team, regardless of whether we win or lose. We've been doing this for 10 years. We've either been in it or we won it. It's kind of hard to get spoiled. It's kind of hard to not be spoiled, but that's what happens. Hey, man, there was a stretch there when the Dallas Cowboys went through in the 90s. It was either in it, it was competing, or they won it.
Yep.
San Francisco 49ers is another one during that time, creating a dynasty. They was either in it, they was competing, or they won it.
Yep.
And that's the kind of things that you have to hang on to. Hey, man, there's 32 teams in the NFL. We can only have one Super Bowl winner. In college football, we got 129 teams to be worried about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without worrying about conference boundaries, there's 129 teams we got to worry about. So, hey, man, hats off to Clemson. Alabama will be back next year. We'll see you in August. And all y'all haters out there with your respective teams, I'm going to see you in August, too.
Roll Tide.
Oh, yeah. Roll Tide.
That part.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
anything
no
else?
doubt. I mean,
what you got,
I was
man?
gonna say,
Knicks and 6? Got anything else coming up?
I don't know.
I don't know if you need a Knicks and 6. I don't think you need a Knicks and 6 this week.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you
there's
that.
not a whole lot going on.
I'm going to go ahead and give you that. Well, what we can do, you know what?
What can we do? What can we do?
With you French?
What can we do?
Can we do? Let's see how many coaching hires get filled out by Friday, and maybe we'll do a Friday TV show on that.
No doubt, yeah, definitely.
This is just us talking out loud, but I mean, you know, that's the way we talk. So, but you know,
no doubt, and I mean, there's definitely going to be some. I would imagine some movement here between here and there. Ready to see some of these coordinators and where they get filled up at. And
I think you'll see. I think you see some ratcheting up because they got him. Let's hurry up and get him before he goes away.
Right.
Before he
and
gets
of course,
snatched up.
And then of course, the more teams get eliminated.
Yeah.
Since this past week, we just had 4 teams eliminated. Some of those guys get interviewed now too, so some of that can
Fangio will be available, to talk a little bit. And, hey man, Bieniemy, he might be available unless he's going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean,
might be going to the Super Bowl. Him and old Patrick Mahomes. With the 5
maybe
guys.
so.
Hey, they need to change out that oil in old Mahomes' arm though. He didn't throw 5,100 miles.
Better touchdowns.
Yeah, but I'm touchdowns. You're going to change it up. I know it's yards, but I'm just saying, guys. 5,100 miles, you're going to need to change out your oil.
Yeah, ain't no doubt, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm also starting to get the itch here. Well, some of this, I'm just starting to see some of the draft stuff starting to pop up a little bit, and seeing them talk about some of these, prospects and maybe where they're going. It's early in the stages. I love this time. You know me, Messiah.
Hey, man.
Boy, once it's time to start cracking up and getting some of this film going and looking,
I'm worse than you. I'm sitting there telling you about.
Yeah, I'm over here like, getting ready.
We just talking about before we got on here. I'm like, man, I think I had to dial it back up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I think I found y'all's linebacker.
Yeah, man.
And he's coming from Alabama, but I think I found y'all's linebacker. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely that time of year to nerd out and dive deep into that stuff.
Hey,
but
C.J. Mosley, brother, I don't know if he's going to Dallas. we over here just chit-chatting and stuff, while we talk about places that players can go. But C.J. Mosley's brother over there from the Baltimore Ravens, that C.J. Mosley, that'll knock you into next week, make you forget your social security number. That's C.J. Mosley. His brother Jamie Mosley. Keep an eye on that.
Me for the Cowboys, I've been on these tight ends. That boy Fon over there in
might be available for you too, because he might not even go in the first round according to projections. And he was like a top 15 not too long ago. That's what I'm saying. The defense is so hardcore in this draft. Like, you're gonna drive first round talent down.
It's going to be interesting, man. I can't wait for
Jr.?
it.
Yeah, I know you want him, but
all right, I'll tell you what. I don't know how when we get to some of this draft preview programming stuff that we're going to be doing. I don't know how we're going to keep it underneath 2 hours.
Nah, I think I got a plan. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some breakouts though. Like we'll have to 20 minutes blast here, 20 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll cover each conference.
What you got? What else? You got anything on deck for the rest of the week before these playoff games get here, or low key in it?
Let me tell you something.
All right, it's just us. Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. Actually,
Okay, go ahead.
this bet that you won about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to do some research.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to find like the most upper class steak restaurant.
All right.
You can find that serves lobster.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna need you to locate that in your area, even if we have to drive an hour or two.
Okay.
So that you get a quality bet win. I mean, and you know me. I mean, like, we known each other for years, bro. Like, I eat quality food. I don't play around with no trash. Not that some of these places aren't good. I mean, like, don't get it twisted. I will roll up through the drive-thru on Popeyes and sit in the parking lot and eat my chicken like anybody else because I can't wait to get home. But I mean, when I go out to eat,
yeah.
Hey, man.
Don't worry.
You've been around me and you've heard stories too, like me and my boy Luke. Shout out to Luke from Outback Steakhouse, partying out there in St. Pete too. But hey, man, look,
it's time to grow up. It's time.
We got $500, $600, $700, $800 bills, and $400 of that is wine, liquor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we just grubbing everything: appetizers, main course, dessert, everything.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need you to locate that place, and let me look at the menu and stuff, so I know that's quality or not. Check out the reviews, do my research, so that we can go have a nice, relaxing bet payoff evening.
You know what I mean? Whatever meal I order, I'm just gonna name it the Baker.
I just don't want you to go to. I don't want to get caught and I don't want to do you dirty and get you to Tennessee for the draft and be like. Break out a rack of ribs and be like, "Hey man, this is a bet for you, that Baker Mayfield, John. I ain't taking you to no steak restaurant, bro, because you know me."
I tell you what, we'll open it up. Hey, anybody that happens to hear this and know of a good surf and turf spot out there in old Tennessee,
quality,
inbox us and let us know where we need to hit so Steve can finally pay off this bet.
Yeah, man. Hey,
looking forward to it.
We'll be tracking those coaching moves coming up this week, man. And if everything gets filled out, or we got down to one job or whatever it is, we'll pop on a Friday preview show. If not, look for us to come back, man, with the results after the weekend. Hell, man, we might even do Monday and just go ahead and drop it on Monday night, and let them deal with it for the rest of the week, because that's a lot, man.
Part.
And by the way, we went an hour and 52 minutes now.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Say your goodbyes. Then we thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Deep in the huddle, man. We're out.